Small skiff to fish the sound or rivers, or a huge offshore tuna machine, Defiance Marine has it. At Defiance Marine, be sure to power your boat with a Honda outboard package. Take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty on your Honda outboards. Our service department is always here to help and serve you as the customer. Did you know Defiance Marine has boat financing experts to help get you the best term rates on your new boat purchase? If you need financing for that new boat, call us today. We guarantee the best price, best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine also carries all the gear that you will need. Everything from auxiliary kicker motors to fishing tackle and bait. Defiance Marine has certified technicians that are top-notch at their job. Some of the best in the Pacific Northwest at evaluating your boat issues and problems. Stop in today or give us a call for all your needs at Defiance Marine.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts with services ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. Phoenix client management models are built on understanding our clients' security needs and responding with a tailored program that is best fit for them. Phoenix provides excellent customer service through well-trained, highly motivated security professionals. Recruiting highly qualified officers is the first step in building a strong team. Currently, we are comprised of 70% prior law enforcement and military veterans. If you are prior military or law enforcement, go to www.phoenixprotectivecorps.com and apply today.
Here we go. In the Northwest Wild.
We've got a ballistic solution app on my...
Tuna grounds are on the ocean, Tommy. We're going to do that. Don't go anywhere.
We've got all the great fish that make great fish and chips.
Things that I've got. I'm digging in moss bags up in the sand. And after work, a cold beer in my hand. Picking wild bears.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Fish on Northwest. Dwayne England, Tommy Dolan. Here we are, buddy, back in studio.
Yes, we are.
It's been a week already.
2 weeks in a row. I know, it's hard to believe.
You know, the snow's all gone, the rain's dumping, the rivers are rising. It's just kind of rinse and repeat.
It is, and the pounds are coming off.
The pounds are coming off.
I've lost just over 20 pounds the last week and a half.
So that's pretty good.
Yep.
Are you eating?
Getting after it.
Are you eating?
I incorporated a couple fasts in there to get the autophagy rolling.
Right.
But I've been working out like a madman and been eating super clean. So
well, now that I'm over the Rona, time to get back to the gym.
There you go.
You know, 22 is going to be the year of retirement and absolutely 100% ready for hunting season going into this year. Just
to let you know, Planet Fitness is not a real gym.
Well, they got weights. Yeah. They don't allow jugheads like you in there that
I know, they do
intimidate people. I tend to treat people a little nicer, so they allow me into that.
I see. I see. You bring your violin in.
I do. I swoon them at the door. And get my workout on. But
There you go.
we are holding each other accountable, and
Yes.
Coach Debner is on board, and we are. This is 22 is the year for FHN to truly get fit and really conquer some hunting.
Amen.
To a level that we haven't taken it to. So, hey, want to welcome everybody to the show. So glad you're tuning in. We got one heck of a show lined up. I got the official Chuckleheads are back here, Tommy. The Chuckleheads 1 and 2 are back in studio tonight, joining us. Fantastic friends of ours, Bo Oslin and Tony Wintrip. Fantastic guys, successful hunters in their own right. They do a little fishing from time to time, and when you have that conversation, they always start laughing. I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what it means either.
So really some solid information to get through this evening. I think you folks are going to really enjoy, especially with Bo. He is one of the 3 licensed outfitters there in the Blues Mountains, and with the debacle as of late with the commission, the discussions that were online as they kind of paid attention to the Blues, we got some stuff to talk about with Bo. He's got his finger on the pulse there above anybody else. I mean, this guy's going to come out swinging very matter-of-fact information. But we're not going to get too far into that before we get too far into that. So with that, we just want to welcome everybody to the show. Hey, remind you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Jump over to our YouTube channel if you would, please. Subscribe there. Our numbers continue to go up, and we thank you for that. Check out our webpage, Fish Hunt NW, www.fishhuntnw.com. We have our online store. Shing's really good about loading up all the merchandise, and you can purchase it there. We're also going to have a whole slew of new items coming at you as we convene down there at the Sportsman Show, first week of February. More on that later on the show. But the online store is up and going. Get the Jinglin Jigs there. Whether you are going to start trekking to the east side soon, once the snow is cleared, to get to Rufus and go twitch up some of those tasty trout, certainly get your Rufus package there on the webpage. Lots going on over there at the webpage. Please check us out, www.fishhuntnw.com. With that, Tommy, lots going on throughout the week. And, conversations online, social media and what have you, continue to go on and on and on. A lot of it focuses back on the commission.
Absolutely.
Now, for those that were paying attention, we had Brian Blake in studio last week. Now, I'm kind of in the camp. I think Brian won a few folks over. Those that are in the I don't like Brian Blake camp are still in the I don't like Brian Blake camp.
Right.
But hey, it's a personal choice.
I mean,
right?
the one thing that strikes me about Brian is that he's pro hatchery.
Right.
We absolutely have to have somebody in there
Yep.
that is ready to do what it takes to pump up hatchery production.
Yes, and for those paying attention last week, he's a Democrat, but he's a strong Second Amendment advocate. He also crushed a lot of these just obscene bills that were trying to be pushed through and law changes relative to gun ownership and, maximize on your clips and all this crap they tried to cram down the throats of Washingtonians here in the last couple of years. Brian was still a seated representative at the time and crushed a lot of that stuff. So hats off to him for that. Yes, there are those that are fearful of him getting in that seat. But, hey, ultimately it comes up to Governor Inslee to appoint those persons. I just hope moving forward, and we'll get into this a little later as well, but I'm hoping moving forward, he actually moves forward on putting somebody in that at-large, putting somebody in that Eastern Washington seat. That's been vacant for well over a year.
Yeah, and it can't be a political appointment.
No.
Okay, that's the thing.
We've seen what it's done, right?
Right.
It's a disaster right now. Currently, we have 7 seats filled out of 9.
Right.
So, why does that still weigh in tonight? Well, if you are online paying attention, number of hunting organizations putting it out there for you to jump on and do a couple things. First, the Washington State, we need your help here. Contact the Fish and Wildlife Commission. Why? Well, first, before we do that, let's contact Senate Natural Resources Committee. I want you to reach out to the Natural Resources Committee. Why? The senators sitting in that regard have the say of whether or not Lorna Smith is going to be confirmed in her seat. Inslee appoints, Natural Resources Committee confirms. We don't want her getting confirmation in that seat, okay? I would much rather see her do pretty much what Kuntz did and just walk out the door.
Just walk out the door. Just leave. Yep.
Just open that seat up. Eventually we'll get somebody in there that's worth their salt, but contact Natural Resources Committee online. Pretty easy to do. Google Washington State Natural Resources Committee. It'll open it up online. Submit. Go to the submit box. It puts it in there. You drop your name. They got a box in there you can type. Please do not confirm Lorna Smith as a commissioner on the Washington State Fish and Wildlife Commission. Thank you. Sign your name. You're done. Just that quick. We need thousands of people signing on, telling them do not confirm Lorna Smith. That's the first point. Secondly, contact Fish and Wildlife Commission. Why? Let them know you need them to bring up on January 21st the petition that has been signed by thousands to reconvene and revisit, Tommy, the decision, the debacle as it were, on the spring bear hunt.
Yep.
Right? They need to bring that up, have a discussion again. Now, as we're sitting with 7 current commissioners, they can vote on that again. There's nothing that says they can't. They can vote on it again. I also strongly believe Larry Carpenter may change his tune. There are some out there in his camp that are saying, give an another opportunity to speak on behalf of it. They think he may, hedge his bet, change his tune.
It's going to be interesting because he's not confirmed in his position either.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually been kind of hung out there for over a year.
Yeah.
Going on 2 years, I believe. His term actually expired in 2020.
Right.
And yet he sits as the current chairman of the commission.
Yeah. That was such a huge disappointment to me, just on a personal level, because I grew up watching, I mean, I still have VHS tapes watching Larry Carpenter salmon fishing.
Yeah.
So to bring that full circle and to see him give a no vote on the spring bear hunt just killed me.
Well, the entire thing is fully political.
Yeah,
everybody can agree. And emotionally driven, and we've gone over all of that. So what we're asking hunters to do, and those, even if you don't hunt, but you're an outdoor recreational enthusiast, somebody even fishes, even if you hike the trails or whatever it is, what you enjoy doing here in the outdoors in Washington State, we need to band together and support in each other's camp. So if we didn't hunt, and we're doing this show, we're going to be like, well, yeah, let's help the hunters out, right? Because we're outdoorsmen, we're recreational folks. We want to be able to make sure we get time on the water and in the woods.
Well, especially in this new territory where they're assigning, progressive individuals into these spots on the commission. Yeah. Even if you fish but you don't hunt, you hunt but you don't fish, and you think, oh, that doesn't affect me. It absolutely does affect you, because it's the type of policies that are being enacted that will affect you, and it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and good point on that. You have to remember the commission drafts and writes policy that gives WDFW direction. So they don't move forward on anything without having given direction from the commission. We would rely on the commission to utilize the science, but we've already proven they don't really give a rat's ass about science. They're just going to do what they want to do. So look, we have to unite as outdoors persons. We have to be united whether we fish or hunt. Why? Because the animal rights activist groups are united.
That's right.
And they cater to Lorna Smith's base, and those groups, Humane Society and some of the other ones all band together. They had more presence on the phone, on the computer, on the Zoom meetings. They were waving their hands and reining in on why not to have a spring bear hunt with false information, emotionally driven.
Well, and the other thing about that is, this shows you how crooked the commission is, right, in that sense, because that spring bear meeting was in the second week of the general deer season hunt. So where's all the hunters at? They're hunting. Yes. Of course they're not on the phone.
That's how they do it. That's how they do it. Yep. So again, this is us bringing it to you. Get on there. It's a pretty simple deal. Just Google Washington State Fish and Wildlife Commission. It's going to open up to a page where you can say contact. Opens up the page, you drop in your info, fill out the center box. Please bring up the petition on the special meeting January 21st and review that and give us our spring bear hunt back. So, all right, what else is going on, buddy?
All right, we got a set of clam digs coming up here, January 14th through the 20th. And the awesome thing about this set of dates is the 14th, 15th, and 16th. You got that low tide right at sunset, and you can get out there before sunset. So, if you're thinking about, getting kids into this, this is a great time to introduce your kids into it. And then another thing is, people often wonder, well, my child has to be able to be part of the process, right? That's part of the legalese that WFW has stated that, hey, they can harvest a limit, but they have to be part of the process. And in terms of razor clam digging, they've gone a step further. And if you go to WFW website, it even tells you what that means. Like, what does it mean to be part of the process? And they show you how your kid can be involved in the process so that you can legally take a limit.
They have to carry their own limit.
They have to carry it.
If you have a 5-year-old out there with you and you're digging clams, showing he or she how to dig clams and assist them with that, that's fine. They have to actually carry their netted bag on their hip or drag it in the sand or whatever means they have possible, or put them in some pony backpack or whatever it is, right? But the clams have to be on them as a person. You can't carry their limit for them, and it's a great introduction to the outdoors. Not to mention, if you look at our weather coming up for the next couple of weeks, we had a bit of a nice dry spell coming.
Yeah, we do.
Really, weather is going to be conducive, and as Tommy mentioned, man, get out there a couple hours before that low tide that's denoted in the regs, because you can dig a couple hours before that minus low tide, and you're going to have plenty of opportunity, plenty of shows showing, and teach them kids how to forage up some clams. It's a great time. So did you get this one, Tommy? Washington State Legislature session is back up and going, right? First session of 2022. They are considering a historic bill to legalize fish traps statewide. Brian Blake brought this up last week. Kind of snuck it in there. Oh, well, they're considering a bill right now, or coming up in this next ledge session, to actually legalize fish traps. Why is that important? Well, it's another alternative of selected gear with conservation in mind. Yeah. It's an alternative method to gill nets. It gives you the opportunity to selectively harvest, which is something I had posed that question to Brian last week, and that's how it kind of segued into that conversation. But Senate Bill 5567, if you want to read up on it, Senators Vandeweghe and Solomon are bringing that to the forefront, having the discussion. I failed today to get on and see if it's been brought out of committee where it stands, if it's going to hit the floor, if it's going to truly be voted on. But it's going through the process right now. These senators are bringing forward a bill to have discussions on reintroducing. So these types of harvest methods were ruled no good. The only means acceptable legally is gill nets since 1937. Okay, so there was a process back then where they said all these other methods are not legal. You can only use gill nets, right? So now, in today's modern society, and raising fish and getting fish back and harvesting fish, and for the commercial industry, in some regards, it's a benefit to them if they can harvest fish, but in some areas, selectively harvest fish. We do need commercial harvest at some level. We'll never see our hatchery production increase if we don't have some of those players in place. That's just a fact. Do I like it? Not necessarily, but I don't like gill nets in the water. If they're going to have some means of collecting fish, selective harvest, and we could get into the whole rules of engagement, and do they let fish pass, do they close the door? It's a whole other topic. All I'm letting you know is at least they're having the discussions in Olympia. State senators are bringing it to the floor, going to have this discussion, see if they can pass this Senate Bill 5567.
They are, but this one smells fishy. I mean, this one was brought forth by Wild Fish Conservancy.
That's the other side of it.
Public enemy number one.
Yep. That's the other thing to consider, right?
And then the other thing is that, this is just, the way I see it is it's a half-baked plan that doesn't account for pinniped predation at the fish trap.
Yeah. What do you do about that?
It doesn't account for all of the users above that fish trap for that particular river system that usually get a take on that fish.
Sure. Right? There's no language in there regarding that. Yep.
And so I think this is just a way that Wild Fish Conservancy is getting their foot in the door to get fishermen off the water and get hatchery fish out of the river system.
There's definitely two sides to this.
Yeah.
And all of that information is not disclosed, so it kind of leaves you wondering, where's this going?
Right.
Right? So, all right, real good. Hey, remind everybody, Fisherman's Brew is and are currently friends of ours. Hopefully they remain that way in the future, but I certainly enjoy their coffee, Tommy, as do you.
I do too.
Fisherman's Brew, Steelhead or Chinook blend. Check them out, www.fishermansbrew.com. Remember, percentage of what you purchase goes to salmon recovery, habitat restoration, and the like. So make sure you check out Fisherman's Brew if you have not. Do us a favor, help us help small business in Washington State and the Northwest. Pick up some Fisherman's Brew for your thermos when you hit the road for hunting or fishing. Fisherman's Brew should be with you. Give them a look. All right, with that, Tommy, running down the show, we have some special guests in studio with us tonight, returning the Chuckleheads. They haven't been here for a couple years. Sounds like a great name for a band, doesn't it?
It does.
Now on center stage. Oh, wait, that's the wrong type of venue. Bo Olson, the friend for the past few years. Once I got introduced to this guy, I was like, yeah, we're friends for life. He is one heck of a guy. guy. Wilderness Expeditions LLC. Bo is here. He is one of the 3 licensed outfitters in the Blues Mountains, and let me tell you, the guy has his thumb on the pulse. He knows what's going on. How you land that permit to guide in that area, Tommy, and the history lessons on the ungulate herds, and what they truly are now in comparison, right? So we're going to break it all down. Bo has some really good information. He's brought some statistics that he's put together. Why? Because he's there all the time. So wanted to let you guys know what's really going on in that regard. Also, Puget Sound blackmouth fishing recap. Got out on the water last week. Jordan and I did with buddy Matt Messin. Matt said, hey, I haven't fished yet. Let's get out there and check it out. Well, we had a phenomenal day. The only caveat to that is it closes tomorrow, in parentheses or in quotations, temporarily. Right, because we'll get into that now. This information literally came out right before we started the show. We're going to talk about what we did, how we found success last weekend, and we'll talk about the opportunity hopefully coming back in February. We'll see where that goes. Matt's got some really good information. Can't wait to catch up with him. Then we'll get back with Bo. We have another series of questions for him as we move deeper into the show. We definitely want to talk about a truthful conversation of what's going on in the Blues with the ungulate populations, the predators, of course, and the conversations as of late with our current commission. We might even be able to drag Tony Wintrip up here on the old stage and get them 2 chuckleheads sitting side by side. This would be a good time for all who are going to view this this evening. So great information to get through with Bo. And then, of course, we're going to close out the show. Tommy, we got out a few weeks ago, actually a few days just before Christmas. Headed to the east side, teamed up with our buddy Shelby Ross, and Levi was there, and we had a group of at least 10. We had it was our invite. It was our Fish on Northwest invite, waterfowl opportunity. We purposefully scheduled it on a Wednesday, which, by the way, is a great call.
Yes, it was.
The ducks,
they were nowhere to be found.
They were gone.
Yep.
The cold weather had set in. The lakes started freezing up. Goose hunt is where it was at, and boy, did we. Had a fantastic shoot that morning. Within a few hours, just had a ton of birds on the ground. Captured a lot of that on video, strung something together for you to watch this evening. We're going to premiere that this evening before we close out the show, our goose hunt on the east side with Ross Outdoor Adventures. So, action-packed show, lots of things to get through, lots of information coming from Bo as we talk about the Blues, and get some blackmouth tips out there for you, with the anticipation it's going to reopen later on as we roll through the year. So don't go anywhere. Jump out for a quick break. We come back. Bo Olson going to be right here center stage, and we're going to hit him with a lot of questions, as we want you to do online. If you have concerns about the Blues, Bo's your man. Jumping out for a quick break. Coming back right here, Fish on Northwest.
An Outdoor Emporium is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975. Providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
It's easier than ever to browse homes and connect with an agent on the go with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate's mobile app. With the app, your home search is synced across all of your devices, so you can pick up your home search anytime, anywhere. Take full advantage of an enriched, mobile-optimized map search experience. Use location services to quickly find homes near you that match your search criteria. Draw your own map boundaries to find homes in a specific area, and apply layers to view school districts, neighborhoods, zip codes, and more. The app's user-friendly design makes it easier than ever to find a home you'll love. Narrow down your search results, save your search criteria, and save your favorite homes. You can browse your saved homes in a list view that puts photos and key details like price and square footage right at your fingertips. Or check out your saved homes displayed on the map.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh yeah. Whoa. Oh, no, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Hey, welcome back, Fish on Northwest. In studio here, Dwayne England, Tommy Donlin, and Bo Olson.
Mm-hmm.
Good to be here, fellas.
Great to have you here. Before we delve into this, Tommy, we do have a few things getting thrown out here on the old messenger here. Andy is strongly encouraged folks when they're on their way out for clamming, go ahead and stop by the Westport Winery. That'd be a good little stop in. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. And Robert is asking, do we know if there's any tribal gill netting going on in some of these closed systems, like out on the peninsula in the Chehalis? What I can tell you in regards to that, I have not been informed that any of the closed systems, fully closed systems, have any tribal impact on them whatsoever. Now, that being said, out on the Queets-Quilliet system, we do not have an agreed-to fishery between the state and the tribes. That was the one area that they could not come to agreement on. The state has closed that opportunity to recreational opportunity, but the tribes had indicated they would fish. And as of late, I was informed by a few folks that it looks like they are conducting their commercial gill net fishery on those systems within their reservation right. So that is one between the state and the tribe. Again, they didn't have an agreed to fishery. You know, we don't have any say in that fight. I just wish that the state and the co-managers would come to agreement on the numbers. Mm-hmm. If we're talking same numbers, we should recognize the impact and either go or no go for both sides. So that's all I got on that one. So, all right. Yes, Blackmouth is closed, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Right now, front and center, Bo Olson, Wilderness Expeditions.
Yes, sir.
And you've been here before. We've talked about a few of these things.
I'll be here again, too.
And you'll be here again. And I appreciate it when you come because you come bearing gifts. I have these amazing 5x5 elk antlers sitting in the studio that everybody comments and compliments on when they come in here that are from the Blues. And now you brought me this little fiasco sitting in front of my computer.
It's not little. It is not little.
Dandy mule deer there. Can't thank you enough. That is a nice addition to the studio here.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. That just shows the genetics over there, man.
It shows what used to be in the Blues.
Right.
And, if we can get a grip on it, we can have those again.
Get those back.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about you have acquired an outfitter's permit. It's a great story, but we don't have time to get into the entire deal. But I want you to talk to folks about describing that permitting process. How does one go about? We only got 3 guys, including Washington, Oregon, that are permitted, correct?
Correct.
How did you acquire in the short version?
In the Blue Mountains.
Yes, in the Blue Mountains.
Yes, there's special use permits that the Forest Service gives out to certain outfitters, guides. And fortunately, I'm one of them. I'm proud to have it. And it encompasses, so we essentially are tied in with the U.S. Forest Service. Mm-hmm. And we adhere to their rules set forth, and we run a business. And so I'm allotted so many units. The other outfitters are allotted so many game units. We have boundaries. We do not cross unless we are cohesive and we get that, hey, I'm going to pack an animal, Hunter shot this out of your unit.
Sure.
As it should be.
Sure.
Right? And as we talked earlier, your firemen, you guys know first aid is critical in the middle of the wilderness. So if something happens to a client or another outfitter's client, we're going to take over and say, hey, we'll go get this guy out. He broke his leg. We'll get him.
Yeah. So you get along with those other guys pretty good?
I do.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty cohesive, as you said?
Yes, correct. Yeah. We should be cohesive, and we're getting to where we need to be. It's been touch and go over the years, but we're getting to where we need to finally. Yeah. So, and that's nice. That's a comforting feeling. And it's comforting for the Forest Service as well, because then they don't have to deal with it, and they know
they don't have to monitor.
You guys are good, right?
Right.
So talk a little bit. How did you get into guiding, and then how long have you been in the Blues Mountains?
Just started off big game hunting, and we used to go in a different wilderness, and we would pack in and pack out and get elk, get deer. And then we just kind of realized that, hey, you know, we've been doing this and helping relatives out to fill their tags, etc. And then before the recession hit, which, I mean, we're going back sometime, you know, in 07, 08.
Yeah.
I had submitted a business plan to get in with a certain ranger district. And I put a business plan together. That's what I was going to school for.
Right.
Did a SWOT analysis, did all that stuff. And they were like, what is this? Right? You know, because that's kind of not how you obtain a permit.
Sure.
It was almost like grandfathered in with families passed down.
Yeah.
Right? So I have what's considered a trail permit. There's a range permit, which is cattleman. And that is literally passed down generation to generation.
And that's for grazing and access.
Yeah, absolutely. The trail permit is the same thing, but I can commercially guide in those certain units.
Right.
I'm allotted certain units.
Right.
And so I had, long story, I'd put in, never heard anything from that certain ranger district. And then when the recession hit, I went back east to North Dakota, chasing the money. And I got a call when I was there, and they said, we think you might have an opportunity when you get back.
Oh.
And so I was in the process of signing on for another season there. I was making great money. It was wonderful work.
Yeah.
And I just kind of chose to have this once opportunity in my life and chase it. And I went. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I'm glad I did. And it kind of came to fruition a couple years later. And basically, I had to work under someone else's permit for a year with the intention from me is I want this permit for myself.
Sure.
But I knew I had to harvest. I was the packer, the guide, the cook. I was everything my first year. I had no one working for me.
Sure.
Wow.
So it was like,
that's a challenge.
I need to put 3 bowls on the ground, muzzle, archery, and rifle.
Right.
And we did.
Yeah.
And one of them was a 400 class bull.
Yeah, I was going to say, now these, for those that don't know, we're not just talking like, you're not just going elk hunting. These are trophy animals.
I'm pretty blessed.
Yeah.
I'm proud of what we've accomplished over the years.
Right.
But the Blue Mountains has probably the best genetics for elk in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
I think that goes without saying.
Sure, yeah.
Okay? It used to be world class.
Right.
I still think it rivals Arizona. At one point, the Blue Mountains produced the world record elk. It lasted for 18 hours. Okay. And then Utah beat it, and then Arizona beat it another 18 hours.
Yeah.
So, over the years, but the genetics are there. But right now, we're having a predator problem.
Yep.
That's why I'm here.
Yep.
To talk about it.
We're going to get into that.
We're going to get into that.
And we'll hammer that.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk about that.
Well, talking about trophy animals, I mean, the gentleman who currently holds the Washington State Roosevelt archery record is sitting in this room.
He's one of our buddies right here.
So, the other chucklehead.
Yeah, the other chucklehead. Yeah. So, though, with your outfitter's license, you are taking persons. So, I draw that permit.
Right.
Now, I can go hunt it by myself.
Absolutely.
Right? I have that. Or I can get a hold of somebody with the likes of you that has every nook and cranny of that place drilled in, right?
And I commend you if you want to do it on your own.
So I get a hold of you. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like. Either I'm holding a permit for an elk, I got a deer tag, I want to go hunt sheep, goat.
Yep. No goat tags as of yet.
No goat tags as of yet.
Working with the Rocky Mountain Goat Alliance, trying to get that in the works.
And or bear when we get that back.
Yeah,
right? Spring bears become pretty big for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm holding one of those tags. I get a hold of you.
Yes.
What am I in for? What are you going to do for me?
I'm going to get you your trophy.
Really?
Absolutely.
What's that look like? We stay in a
wall tent.
Yep.
We're in the middle of the wilderness. 2 of my units are in the wilderness. 2 are not.
Packing in on mules or horses?
Packing in on mules.
Yeah.
We kind of got away from horses. Mules are a man's best friend.
Yeah.
They're more friendly.
Right.
Sure-footed. They're great.
Yeah.
They're just great. But it basically entails us doing the work for you. You draw the tag. You've waited a lifetime for this tag. Sometime, as I told Tommy, it may take 20 years for
Or
a
two.
tag. Or two.
Or two.
three.
Yeah.
You know, certain chuckleheads we know have drawn a few.
I call him 2-year Tony.
2-year Tony. Absolutely. So once you draw, we get the boots on the ground. We do everything. We get the scouting done for you.
Right.
Your time constraints, you can't do it. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Right. And I still wouldn't be in business if I didn't have a passion for this.
Right.
I'm still passionate about it. Right. I mean, you just kind of, things don't get redundant, but what gets redundant is our WDFW policies, right? And it's kind of putting a hold on what we do.
Sure.
Okay. And so we'll talk about that here shortly. But if you drew that tag and you had 16 years, you waited for that tag.
Yeah.
We're going to find you the bull you want. Absolutely. And we're proud of 100% shot opportunity. Every client we've had, think about that.
That's phenomenal.
That is amazing.
That is phenomenal.
Okay. Now, that doesn't mean we've filled every
Harvested,
tag.
yes.
Yeah.
But we've taken clients in, and it's no fault of our own.
Right.
We showed them.
Right.
So, people have this perception that there's a 400 class bull on every tree. There's not. Okay. Now, was there at one time? There probably was.
Yeah.
Okay. The Blue Mountains was world famous at one time.
Right.
Can it get that way again? It certainly can. We need to manage it properly.
Right.
And
right.
So talk about that a little bit. You said it was world famous at one time. So you started, what was it, 2010?
2012.
2012.
Okay. So you've been operating there for 10 years now.
Yes.
So you got in, obviously you were successful right out of the bat. The first year,
Yep.
you had a mission to get 3 bulls down. You did, including a 400 class bull. And now you've been there over the years. Have you observed the decline of the animal availability over those years?
Oh, absolutely. So it's what was once routine, us going into here like, the first year, we'll go there the next year. Great. This is a good funnel for these elk, right? After the rut, they go here, they go there. Okay. Same with deer. It's not what it used to be. And it's because of our predator problem, right? They're figuring out new routes, right? So that's more work for us, which we're not afraid of, but it's disheartening what I've seen in 10 years. And I've been in the blues before I even had a permit.
Sure.
Hunting, recreating, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. But seeing it from my business standpoint, it's harder and harder. Okay. There's less elk. There's less herd bulls that, clients are harvesting. You had 16 years. You don't want to shoot a small bull, immature bull.
Right.
You want to shoot a, 6 to 8 year old bull.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we strive to do. But it's getting harder and harder. And, once we get some real predator management in there, it'll happen. It'll come back.
So in your mind, obviously, and in the mind of many, predators in that environment now is the number one reason. Have we had much winter kill there? No. What's leading to the decline? Strictly predators?
We have not. Listen, I have more user days than probably any person in the Blue Mountains.
Right.
And I'm proud of that fact as well. Okay. And I like to have my pulse on everything, right? The winters have not been super bad, right? Now we got a ton of snow now, right? The Blue Mountains is under a layer of snow.
Yeah,
this is the first time in a number of years, right? So probably 6-7 years ago, right? And so what is going to happen is all these big bulls, these mule deer, they're going to go down even lower. Okay. And we might have some winter kill, but what happens is with so much snow, these predators, okay, we can talk about the wolves all day.
Sure.
Right? Okay. That's another topic for another day.
Yes.
We obviously know how that's going, but you culminate that with all these animals wintering down low and funneling down certain area. If I'm a predator, guess where I'm going to be?
All right. Yeah.
Now I got 12 in a pack. I'm going to have 6 here and 6 here, right? You're gonna eliminate that elk herd.
Sure.
And our numbers, an ideal number. This is what WDFW is throwing out. We want 5,500 back, right? That's a sustainable number that they're content with. Okay. Now people ask me, you've asked me, Tommy's asked me, Tony's asked me, how many elk are down there? Is there 3,600? Right?
Yeah.
Is it more? Or is it less? Now, it's a conundrum for me to say if there's less, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Then what's our flawed commission going to do? They're going to dictate, hey, guess what? You know what? Let's just eliminate elk hunting altogether.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's more, then we don't have a problem.
Sure.
So myself personally, it's an easy fix. And we all know what that is. And it's predator management at its finest. Let's bring some hound hunting back. I'm going to throw some numbers at you for all you mathematicians. Okay. Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll jump into the next segment too.
Yeah.
And you guys can think on it, and then you come back and you give me your answers. What it is, it's simple math.
Sure.
Okay, for Tony. I mean, he just whatever.
Yeah, might be a little difficult.
Okay, but
might have to get out his TI 89.
But
all I know, it counts 6x6.
It's frustrating what I see. So if our management objective is 5,500 elk, and the commissioners don't think there's a problem, I'm going to throw these numbers at you.
Okay.
And if they are watching, if they hear about it, this is real data.
Right.
From an outfitter that spends time in the Blue Mountains, more than any biologist, by the way.
Well, not you got 12 cameras out there.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe more.
Okay. You got a good grasp of what's happening.
I got a great grasp.
Yeah.
And we have a phenomenal spring bear season. It's a very good time. It takes 3 to 6 points to draw a spring bear tag in the Blue Mountains. Jason Phelps drew a couple years ago, right? Tony was with him.
Yep.
They had a great time.
Right.
He got a nice bruin.
Yep.
And he'll attest to you too. It's not easy.
Sure.
But there's plenty of bear down there.
Right.
We do not have a problem with bear. And these people that think bears are lovely, let me tell you something about bears.
Can I just go on record and say you're the first man to ever use the word lovely
well,
in our studios?
I don't know if I want that.
It smells of fresh potpourri over here.
Where's my bush can?
Bearscat potpourri. That's what we need.
So I did pinky up for this one. Right?
Yeah. Well, these bears eat their own babies.
Right.
Yeah, cuddly little buggers, aren't they?
Okay, so they're savages. Okay, and they eat baby deer and baby elk.
Right.
And we'll talk about the deer decline too, because no one seems to be talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you got a serious decline in the mule deer.
It's unbelievable. Like I said, this is what used to be there. Okay.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It used to be, and it can be again. But we need to get a grasp. And out of all the cameras that I check, I've never been to a camera, this is a true fact, in probably the last 5 years where I did not have at least 2 different cougars on each camera. Now think about that, right?
Yeah.
Go into each camera, and I'm in some pretty dark places, some pretty deep timbered spots, and it's like, oh, wow. And you're sitting there and you're looking at these with your SD card as you switch, and you're like, okay. Yeah. They're here. We've run into them.
They're probably watching me look at my SD card right now.
We've had them growl at us.
Yeah.
Packing elk out.
Right.
We had one on top of a dead deer in front of us in the trail. Basically like, this is my deer.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's like we're seeing cow elk now have babies way up high, like by themselves. Like you'll see a solo cow elk.
Interesting.
And you're like, what is she doing up there?
Right.
And you're watching her, and then she has a brand new dropped calf right with her. And the reason she's so up high is because down low, they have packs of wolves, they have cats.
Sure.
And all the spring bears are down low because it's like Thanksgiving.
Right,
Right? It's just feast. They drop. They're scentless. They're not scentless. Those bears rely on their nose, and they go through, and they go, and I mean, I've seen bears eating baby calves, right? And then the cows trying to fight them off. She can't do nothing, so she's barking, running around. I've seen, people don't think we have coyote problem, right? Bobcats, okay? And then cougars.
They're all there.
And I'm telling you, and we'll get into the cougar thing.
Oh, we are. Next segment with you, you got the numbers, the collared study that came out this last year, which really landed on a lot of person's radar to go, holy cow. I really thought it was a wolf issue, or I thought it was a bear issue. Well, collectively, they're all having an impact, but the cats, my God, right?
Oh, Dwayne.
Is there any pressure? Is there any hunting going on for the mountain lions in the region?
There's very little.
Very little?
Yeah, very little. And I'll tell you why. Because half of it's wilderness.
Yeah.
And it's like this.
Right.
It's not for everybody.
No.
You know, a lot of my clients will go to the Blues. They draw this tag.
Yeah.
Because Fish and Wildlife publicizes, hey, it takes 20 points to draw this tag, right?
Yeah.
So people go because it's popular,
Yeah.
and they get there and go, oh, I can't do this.
I can't.
Right? And they can't.
I didn't sign up for this.
Tony will attest to it.
Yeah.
It's rugged, nasty country.
I talked to Jason after his bear hunt. He's just like, holy cow, dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right?
So it's amazing, right?
But we have so much more to get into. We're really going to drill down on the numbers and what's happening and the decline of the ungulated herds, not just the elk, but the mule deer, as you have mentioned. Right. There's a few whitetail around, but as you have also stated, but we have a serious predator problem. And it's across the board. And you just named a handful of predators in that region. And they're all having an impact. Some, obviously, as has been put out there now, a much higher impact than others. And the state has done things which has driven that, much like in our waters with the pinniped issue. Protections and certain things in play that makes it very difficult to get control of this out of control population now, right? So that's why you're here. Serious numbers that you have, what you see is going on there. WDFW and the commission would do themselves a favor by listening to a man like you sitting down in front of them and giving testimony, truthful testimony. Okay?
I love that.
Because look, you as an outfitter to go in there and say, yeah, I would agree with the fact we have 3,600 elk right now. You're basically cutting your business. That they may take a stand and go, well, we're not going to be issuing permits then. Well, but you have to come forward with the information to say, but yeah, well, here's why.
Right.
And here's what I'm asking you to do, right? So
well, and the point is that it's all about the trajectory, right? So the population was here. This is the trajectory. So the do nothing plan leads to a much lower population of elk, regardless of what you do with hunting.
Yeah.
And just
very good point.
Just a side note, we have invited WDFW biologists to come with us.
Yeah.
We'll ride them in to the middle of the wilderness and show them the deadheads we find.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Show them some cameras, show them footage. You know, I've run into one of the trappers that works for WDFW. He wants images.
Wolf trapper?
Yes. From my cameras.
Sure he does.
Well, how about you put the boots on the ground and get your ass out in the woods? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And then the hidden agenda of WDFW. We talked about this last time, Dwayne, about the transparency of Fish and Wildlife. Right. Tony brought it up. Kelly brought it up. Let me tell you, they've had meetings, and you know this. They had a meeting while we're taking clients in for our hunt.
Sure.
We always strive. I told you this. Try to get our clients into camp 3 to 4 days before their hunt begins.
Right.
To get them acclimated to the area, see where camp is, get comfy, etc. And they had the 5-year Blue Mountain Elk Herd Management meeting while I'm taking clients in.
Like on a Wednesday at 10 in the morning.
We weren't invited, right? Okay, so I was not going to miss it. And it's the only time, and I'm proud of this, I never left my clients.
Right.
I don't want to take them in on this once-in-a-lifetime hunt.
And leave them.
then I turn around, see you, fellas.
I got to go.
But they understood, and I said, I'll see you in 2 days.
Okay.
And I made it out. Cody took the guys in. We rode back out. One of my guides was waiting for me. We drove to Dayton, where the meeting was. I invited everybody was there, and their brother. And the meeting was over by the time we got there. They called me on the way down. You know, I'm coming out of the mountains. We got a long haul.
Right.
And they said, the meeting's over. And I'm like, no, you keep them till we get there. And we pulled up, and I walked in, and there was... You know, the gal had closed the library, and I just said, hey, you need to open that back up. And she goes, well, who are you? I said, I'm the freaking outfitter in the Blue Mountains that they excluded from this meeting.
Right.
And then, it was kind of chaos ensued. But I just said, listen, you have a hidden agenda. You don't want input from the real outfitter that's here, that sees what's going on. You do 2 flyovers a year, and you could tell me how many herd bulls to cow ratio are in those canyons. Give me a break.
Sure.
You got to put boots on the ground. You know, does WDFW even know how many mountain goats we have? How many sheep we have? No, that's a problem too with predators. Of course they're preying on their young.
Right.
I've watched a mountain goat nanny push her baby up the hill while a bear 2 bears are coming in after her, and she's pushing this thing. It probably dropped 3 weeks before.
Right.
And she is pushing this thing. I love mountain goats, by the way. She's pushing this thing up the mountain, and she gets it up on this little rock knoll. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing I can do.
Sure.
I'm a mile away, and I'm like, those bears, they're gonna find it. They're gonna kill that little goat.
Yeah.
And she circled back, came down, like did this figure 8. Those bears got wind of her, followed her. She let him out of sight. She looped up. She grabbed that baby and pushed him off the cliff. It was the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. Right. Wow. That's Mother Nature at its finest.
Isn't that amazing?
Right?
You just talked about the cow seeking the high ground to go, give birth.
And those cow elk, we've seen numerous now over the last couple of years where these solo cow elk they're like, screw this. I'm going to get hammered as soon as I drop this. It might be your second calf.
Look at their behavioral change just because of the pressure they're feeling from the predators, right?
And look, I'm a big shed hunter.
Yeah.
I like seeing what survived in the winter. I like to have history with something, a bull, certain bull, whatever, okay? Shed hunters don't do that much damage to push these elk out of their winter habitat.
No.
Right.
Most of the people that are doing it are savvy enough to go, you know what? We're backing out. We're going to let these bulls winter here.
Sure.
Okay? They're not pushing these cows that are going to have their calves here shortly.
Yeah, right.
They're not pushing them down. Those cows are there for their own reason because they know power in numbers.
Right.
They're elk.
Right.
Okay. Now, what's getting lost in this is how about the mule deer? What's happening to them? How come no one from WDFW addresses the mule deer? They had a meeting a month ago. I know, Tommy, I'm getting fired up.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm listening to every little bit.
That's why we bring it in. Yeah.
But they had this meeting that they didn't publicize. And it was a Zoom meeting, and they had everyone in their square. And, you raise your hand, and I'm sure it stays up on the screen. And I had a friend that took it over. He's now going to be running my Instagram, social media stuff. Shout out to Andy Elliott, appreciate you, buddy. And he said, you need to get on this meeting. Well, I had company, right? I was having this dinner party, and I'm like, I don't think now's the time. And I go, you know what? Now is the time. So I chimed in. I got in there. I raised my hand, and they called on me. And I'm like, well, this is fantastic. I didn't want to be redundant and talk about the elk herd and the decline that we've brought to plight here lately.
Yep.
But I just said, what is Fish and Wildlife doing about the mule deer in the Blue Mountains? And you know what answer they gave me?
Probably nothing.
No answer.
You probably caught them off guard.
No,
you caught
no
them speechless.
answer. No answer.
They didn't have that. They didn't play.
Kyle Garrison had no clue.
Sure.
That there was probably even mule deer in the Blue Mountains. I don't know. Okay, so
boots on the ground, as you said.
Boots on the ground. And
but we have a ton more info to get through. We're really going to delve into this predator issue and what is leading to the decline of the elk herd, the mule deer, the ungulates in general. So we'll touch on a lot of that. Good. You have a lot of good statistical data there from your observations and what you are putting together. So I'm so glad you brought all that. We're going to take a little pause here. We're going to jump out, come back from a quick break. We're going to get our buddy Matt Messin on the phone, messing around fishing charters. As I mentioned at the start of the show, this last weekend, phenomenal weather, Tommy. It was great. I was disappointed you couldn't.
Way to rub it in.
I know.
Way to rub it in.
We had a great day, as have many as of late. Up until tomorrow, apparently it's going to do a temporary, and I use that lightly, temporary closure. Maybe we can get a little deeper into the year. Maybe we'll get this fishery back here in February where the weather can actually be even nicer. And so winter blackmouth fishing hopefully to continue. But we'll get into all of that. We'll talk about why and how we found success, and you can do the same once we get the reopener. Don't go anywhere. Jump out for a quick break. We'll be back here in studio on the phone with Matt Messin right after this break.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride right here in Bremerton, Washington. Arima Boats offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. With literally thousands of Arima boats on the water throughout the Pacific Northwest, Arima boats are a proven hull design that offers incredible fuel economy and all of the amenities that a serious angler is looking for. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Arima boats are designed to maximize deck space while also providing ample seating. Contact us today at Arima Boats for all your boating needs and let us help you get out on the water.
End of Watch Ride to Remember is a group from the state of Washington traveling across the country to honor fallen officers from 2019. End of Watch organizer Jagrut Shah says they want to show departments who've lost partners and friends they are not alone.
I wanted to bridge this gap that we have and bring back to the department, let the deputies or the officers know that their lost has not been forgotten.
In 2019, 146 officers were killed in the line of duty, and End of Watch Ride to Remember is on a mission to pay their respects to each of them.
For us, it's just important realizing that the men and women in blue everywhere should remember that they haven't been forgotten. We're not forgetting them. We want the families to know that their loved ones have not been forgotten.
Hey, welcome back here in studio. Dwayne England, Tommy Dolan, and Bo Olson sitting patiently before we get back into talking some hunting. You ever been blackmouth fishing?
You know what? I did maybe, I don't know.
No, that's on the salt water. You know that.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I do get, I get west, Dwayne.
Hey, you know what? We got to take the chuckleheads out on the tuna boat.
We should.
Here, this will tell you. This will
should.
tell you that I have blacktail. See, I don't even know. Blackmouth fish.
Right.
You got me all flustered,
Right.
Tommy.
You use a lead lure for those blacktail?
I used a buzz bomb.
Oh, out of kid.
A buzz bomb. Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this next gentleman, good friend of ours. You know what? After our day of blackmouth fishing, Matt even made the comment. He's like, I don't know what it is, man. Every time we get on the boat together, me, you, and Tommy, whatever, we just freaking kill it.
Just slaughter fish.
Yeah, we do. We do. And Matt is no stranger to the studio or on the show, and does a very good job up there in Area 10. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing good. Good to be back again.
Yes, good to be back. So, hey, let's face it, man. We got out there last, when did we go? Last Friday? Saturday. Yep, Saturday. It's open 3 days a week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And, you know, we finally had a nice weather window. The tide was decent. We got out there. Let's start off talking about that wood. We were just coming off DEFCON 5 flood conditions, and we anticipated there being some wood floating around out there, all washing out of the rivers, those extremely high tides, pulling wood off of the beaches. But I was not anticipating the lumberyard. How about you?
No, me neither. I was even out the night before doing a little squidding, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get on that main channel, I was just, wow, wood everywhere. I've never seen so much before.
It was impressive, and again, kind of anticipated, but I've never seen that much wood out there, so that was something. But let's talk a little bit about our day. You know, you had not made it out there on the water yet. We decided to go give it a run and see how the fishing was. Pretty doggone good day we had, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, pretty dang good. You know, yeah, that first weekend, it was horrible weather. I mean, you can maybe get out one day, so it was a fresh start, first day for me. And yeah, I couldn't ask for nothing better. It was great.
Yeah, so Dwayne was bragging earlier, Matt, that he was kicking your butt. And he said, yeah, I caught 12 fish before Matt caught one.
I didn't say that.
It was something along those lines. Okay, maybe it was 11.
Yeah, it was probably far less than that. But
no, I think.
He was doing good there for a bit.
Well, I told him you were running the hoochie, I was running the spoon.
Hey, this is my question. Clarification. Can I get some airspace in here?
Please.
So, and he was saying he was kicking your butt. And I said, well, why was that? And so I got to ask you, why was that? What is the secret sauce that he's got running on the port side?
Well, to start off, I started with a hoochie. He started with a spoon. Obviously, we found out very fast they were more interested in the spoons. So we swapped. And then Blaine was rubbing a little pot skis. What was that? Anzi oil. And what else did you have on there?
I had the...
was that just herring?
Yeah, I had the herring scent on one side of the spoon. I had put a little swab of the anise on the other side. The fire gel, the pot skis fire gel. And that combination, I don't know, it seemed to actually be productive for sure.
It sure was making me a believer. So yeah.
I want you to peel that onion back a little bit further. What kind of spoon? What size? What liter length? What pound test liter? Tell us a little bit more about the setup.
So my whole setup, hotspot herring aid flasher. 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, and a 3.5-inch cop car with the glow on the front.
Right.
Silver on the back. And that was the spoon. That's one of my favorites.
Well, and so thinking back, Matt, it was interesting because I was running that 3-inch spoon. And
you had the 3-inch cookies and cream?
It was cookies and cream.
Very similar
but it was two-face, right? It was two-face, and so
you had two-face. Yeah.
And I put that scent on there, and kept getting those 20-inch fish. And I even made the comment to you. I go, if I get one more fish that's not legal fish, I'm switching to a bigger spoon.
You're going to a 7-inch atomic plug, is that what you said?
Yeah. So I was going to go to a 3.5. And Matt put the 3.5 on. I ended up getting a fish over 22. So I go, well, I'm thinking a 24, 25-inch fish is going to hit this spoon. I'll just keep it on. Matt goes, I'll put a 3.5 on. We'll see what we get. Well, he put that spoon down and wasn't getting hit. And then he brought it up because we had to clear some wood, and he goes, hey, put a little bit of secret sauce on that spoon for me. So I dulled it up both sides like I did on my spoon. He dropped it down. It was what, Matt, a minute? You got that 6-pound fish?
Couple minutes, yeah. A couple of those drops. It was as soon as we dropped down, hit bottom, tap the button up, look back, fish is on.
Fish was on.
That's awesome.
I mean, that had to have happened like 3 times while we were out there.
Right.
That'll happen when you're using, Silver Horde Kingfisher products as well as the pot skis gel.
Right.
It's going to happen, right?
I think it's going to work pretty well.
I got to wonder, so were you guys marking fish on the sonar? Matt, I know you run a Ray Marine system. Tell us about what you're using for your sonar, and then where were you marking them?
Yeah, so I was marking fish. There was no bait. I still haven't really seen any bait at all on the screen. It's mostly dark screen, and then you're just getting a few little marks here and there on the very bottom.
Right in the dirt.
That Axiom Pro 12 with it's the 1K dub transducer.
Yeah,
perfect.
Through a hole.
And when you cut those fish open, were you seeing anything in their bellies, or were they just starving?
That's a good question.
Starving. They were all empty. Even the ones the following weekend went on, got 3 more another day, and nothing in any of the bellies. I haven't seen any bait in any of them.
So, and what was interesting, Tommy, so Matt went out squidding the night before, and he got a bunch of those summer run little white squid, right?
Yep.
So he started off in the morning with a hoochie. Actually, he was running a glow hoochie Army truck, weren't you, Matt?
Yeah, Army truck hoochie, with the twinkle skirt in there and a little strip of squid on it.
As far as matching the bait, matching the hatch, it was a great representation of what they potentially could be feeding on with the amount of squid that are in and around right now and pretty prevalent. And you would think they'd be feeding. Well, I started with a hoochie as well. We weren't getting sniffed at all. I go, hey, you going to keep that hoochie on? I said, yeah. I go, I'm going to switch to a 2-face. And it didn't take but a couple minutes. They were on that spoon. They continued to hit that spoon. What was the discussion, the ongoing discussion was, man, should I go to a 3.5? Because is it really going to make that big a difference?
Right.
Well, then we determined, Matt put on the 3.5. I continued to run that number 3 2-face, and he ended up getting the bigger fish. Why that small of an adjustment on an overall size of spoon makes that big a difference, I have no idea. But it was also interesting with running a plain spoon, no scent. Nothing happened. As soon as he put scent on, he ended up getting off that rod. The 2 bigger fish of the day came on the 3.5 with the scent. Done deal.
Yeah, right? and I think the lesson learned there is that, you can very easily just say, well, I fish out here a lot and I usually don't need scent, right?
Right.
Or you can remove any possible failure mode, and the failure mode being not using scent.
Right.
And why would you make that part of the equation? Why not start with scent anyway, just to remove that as a factor?
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, to be honest with you, in the ocean, most of the times I was running without scent, but I've changed that over the past year and a half, and I'm always, slapping Potskis on there.
It's so easy to use in the variety of scents. I don't care what jar of whatever it is you open up, it smells so much like what it is supposed to be, whether it's herring, anchovy, the tuna is lights out, but any and all of those, and the anise is fantastic, right? In combination of, but you're right, it's like, one thing we do know is salmon are olfactory driven. They rely on scent a tremendous amount versus like when we're fishing steelhead in the river. Right. It's more of it's obviously more of a visual. We get a great reaction on scent. Why do we put so much effort into how we cure our eggs? What scents we choose to either incorporate into or not use with our eggs? And you learn that stuff over time. There's no downside to putting scent either on your spoon or even on your flasher at times to get that scent trail going in the water down there where those fish are going to be, right? I have never had it like hinder my ability to catch fish. Right. So your point is valid. Why not just start with it, right? And Matt's never been a strong scent guy, right?
I used to run scent back in the day, a long time ago, but just anymore, I just kind of, you get so busy going out there fishing every day. I just started throwing spoons down. I didn't care. Was still catching fish. Wasn't having an issue. But you look now. Fish change too.
Right. Matt,
fishing, learning and adapting.
You gotta watch Dwayne. I mean, he's like a religious believer in the Potskis fire gel. I mean, he takes a little bit and he puts it behind his ear.
Of course,
he puts a little bit under his nose. And then I have to hide. I don't know about you, but I have to hide my flashers, right? Because he will literally slather the gel up and down the flasher. And I'm sitting there when we get back to the dock, scrubbing to get the gel off. Man, it's all over the place.
Right after we get done cleaning all the fish we caught. Hey, Matt, so we went into this season. The opener was January 1. We have a 3-day-a-week season, Saturday, Sunday, Mondays. The first weekend, with the weather and everything that was going on, the amount of pressure that was put onto that fishery, Area 10, was probably one solid good day with a portion of the fleet. I mean, not everybody was going out.
Limited number of guys made it out that day. It was not a nice day to be out there.
Last weekend, the weather was pretty conducive, and the pressure was tenfold with all 3 days in consecutive, with a good amount of boats out there. Now, we're fishing on an overall quota of encounters at just under 8,500, 8,459 fish. Our quota for take is 836 fish. They purposefully did it on a 3 days per week to try and extend us into February. Now, that being said, the advisors had strongly advocated for the season actually opening in February, Tommy. They were like, January's great, but I mean, the fish are going to be there. What's that, man?
We all wanted that. Yeah, we all were asking for that. We all wanted that, and nobody listened.
Nobody listened. So that was frustrating on that side of it. But now here we are. If we think about last year, we had a 7-day-a-week full-on 5,000 something fish encounter sealing, 500, 600 fish take, I believe. I'm just trying to reflect back. That being said, we're at 3 days a week. We've had 4 days of fishing, and as of tomorrow, they're closing the fishery. The impacts, based on the email I got from WDFW, we've reached a 24% total encounter. We've reached a 25% impact on the sublegals. We've reached a 46% of unmarked encounters. I question that one because when you and I were out there, I think we boated 13 or 14 fish. We had one non-clipped fish.
Yep, that was it. Right? Same with the following few days that I was out there. Or, 2 more days, same thing.
My fear on this deal is last year they closed it after 13 days with the anticipation of a reopening in February that we never got.
We never got.
What is your assumption going into this now? You think we'll see it reopen here in February?
why would they change what they do?
Well,
you know, we heard it last year. Oh yeah, we'll just close it. We'll get it back open in February.
Yeah,
and then we never saw another day open it back up again.
Yeah,
you know, it makes it tough in the winter for us to run businesses out here.
Well, we're at 25%. We're at 25% of encounters in sublegals. So I would like to think, Tommy, there's some room for us to have, you know, a reopening here in February.
You never know. There could be some special new math that gets applied between now and then.
Well, Bo was going to help us with the math.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So, brand new invented math.
Yeah. Matt, if it opens back up February, you're running trips, folks get a hold of you and maybe get some of those booked?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be going.
Okay.
Yep. You better believe it.
All right.
I was really excited for this weekend. This is going to be a great weekend.
Yeah. How do you want people to contact you in anticipation, maybe even getting on a list that if you get an opening, you can call them back and say, hey, looks like we can fish on these dates, and put that out there for them. So what's the best way for them to track you down?
Yeah, shoot me a call, send me a text, 360-621-2681. That's probably the best way, honestly. Just give me a text, let me know what you're looking for, and we'll get you on a list to go and get signed up for February. And then, cross our fingers. You know, it would be really nice to see the state, you know, actually do something, open it back up for us. I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, we've heard this before, so
well,
start high.
Okay. Keep our fingers crossed. We'll see what happens, buddy. Always good to get you on the phone, bud.
That's it. All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right.
tie lines.
Talk to you soon. See ya.
Bye. Later.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, Tommy. You know, you get out, you have a great day, you plan to have Matt on the show, talk about the success, what we did to find success, help others to go out this next weekend. Hopefully they find success, and no, I'm going to close the door on you. So let's hope we get her open back up again. I mean, the email is literally right here on the computer. We're at a 25% impact on sublegals and actually, you know, retainable
I mean,
fish.
if that's truly the case, then why close it?
Yeah.
Why? What's the plan? Wait until the sportsman show starts and then reopen it?
More than likely.
I mean, I could see that happening.
So even if they would have went through this weekend with the decent weather, if we would have been at our 50% impact, then you go, well, let's close it and we'll open it back up mid-February. I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, okay, at least we got a couple weekends in already to, you know, get the first half of the quota taken care of. But anyway, it's frustrating. It's that constant state of, you know, emergency this, emergency that, reactionary. Let's put a plan in motion and stick with it, you know. So,
amen.
All right, we are going to jump out for a quick break. We come back. Bo, you ready for round two?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Get you fired up again.
Yes.
I think we're going to go out there. I saw Tony wandering around out there in the gravel somewhere. I don't know. He's looking for a spotlight and a rifle. I don't know.
I think he was water witching.
Hey, if he walks in with a White Claw, he can turn around.
That's right.
Well, he brought you a six-pack of Zimas.
You mean
so
when?
When? Yes, when. It's only a matter of time, Tommy. That's right. All right, we will jump out for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We got Bo Olson here in studio. We have much more information to get to, talking about the Blues Mountain, the predation issue in the Blues. So stick around. Got a couple minutes on the break. We'll be back in studio right here, Fish Hunt Northwest.
Allied boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Deep V 21-degree dead rise at the transom guarantees a smooth ride no matter the conditions. Allied offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Allied boats range from 19 to 32 foot in length, so no matter what type of heavy gauge boat you are looking for, we have it for you. All of our Corsair 21-foot and larger designs come standard with reverse chine that is welded inside and out with no extrusions below the waterline, so that you will never have to worry about corrosion problems down the road. Get out on the water today in a boat that you can trust and enjoy with Allied Boats. Contact us at Allied Boats today to learn much more about our incredible fishing machines.
New days, new beginnings. New friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
Here we go.
Hey, welcome back in studio here, Fish Hunt Northwest, waiting on Tommy Donlan, Bo Olson, and yes, the infamous Tony Wintrip. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing great. Glad to be here.
Sorry you had to put the rifle and the spotlight down to get in here and sit down and join us on the show.
It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, so I'm looking for my my note sheet here. So, Bo.
Yes, sir.
We got into a good amount of information in our first segment there. A lot of folks chiming in here. They really want us to delve a little deeper into a lot of things going on over there. Hey, let's, this kind of came to surface with a recent meeting by the commission and some of the numbers and things they were throwing around, and everybody was kind of taken aback, like, seriously? And I believe Lorna Smith even made mention of, well, observing the wolves in their natural environment is an amazing thing. We should somehow find a way of getting people there to observe these predators, or she doesn't like to use the word predators, but wolves in their natural habitat. Like, let's put up a tram and a guardrail, and people can come and stand there and take pictures.
Here's a proposal for you.
Careful.
How about we do just that?
Yeah.
And we do it at Lorna Smith's place of residence.
That's a great idea.
I like it.
And then when her schnauzer's out getting some water,
we'll let them loose.
She might reconsider what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you think that we talked about the numbers earlier?
Yeah. They're probably construed a little bit, to appease the department.
Mm-hmm.
The department doesn't want to look like, oh, we missed the ball on this, but everybody should know they missed the ball on this.
Mm-hmm.
Hound hunting, was banned in '96, and then they brought it back. And here's another thing that the public may not be aware of, but we brought back certain houndsmen so they could train and go tree cougars, just to tree them, but not kill them.
But just practice the treeing?
Just to practice.
Yeah.
Pursuit, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a conundrum in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I'm going to throw some math numbers at you, Tony.
Yeah.
You chime in, but here we go. You ready for this, Tony?
Yeah, we're waiting.
So let's just hypothetically say, and this is real facts, a male cougar in his prime is killing every 9 to 12 days, a deer or elk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They might feast on it for 2 to 5 days. Okay. The novelty wears off after a couple days, depending on the winter and what have you.
Sure.
Okay. Other predators, critters come in, birds, etc. Okay. Then they move on. So if you have one male cougar that kills every, let's just say 10.
Easy math.
Okay, easy math.
That's for me.
And what's a year in days? 365.
Yep.
Okay. So that's 36 deer or elk.
Right.
Okay.
Per cougar per year.
Per cougar. Per year.
Cougar.
Okay. Now let's say, hypothetically, we have 100 cougars in the Wanaha, Mountain View, Lick Creek, Tucannon, Dayton, Keola, right? Oregon. Do the math. How many deer and elk is that?
Tommy?
You're saying so 100 in each of those areas?
And they kill 36 a year.
Is that
and there's
100 in each of those areas?
Yeah, in each of the areas or collectively?
I'll get to that. I'm just saying, give me that number, you mathematicians. That's 30. That's 3,600.
Yep.
Aberdeen mouth ain't going to get us close.
Yeah.
Okay. What is our elk number at that we currently have?
I believe it's roughly 3,600.
36. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's just hypothetically say this. Let's say a cougar kills in all of the Blue Mountains, which encompasses the whole wilderness, is 1.4 million acres. Okay. Now put that into mileage. Okay, and I took some notes here because I wanted to have this legit. Okay, so let's say there's not 100 cougars. Fish and Wildlife, Rich Beausoleil, okay, famous, cougar bear manager.
Right.
Okay, he's no dummy. Okay, he knows what's going on. He tries to handle conflicts and problem cougars, bears, etc. If we have and do this conversion for you because it hits home with me. This is my livelihood.
Right.
I'm in the Blue Mountains. Okay. I rely on spring bear hunting season.
Right.
Financially. Okay. And it's nothing but a good time. It really is.
It's a really good time.
We have an abundance of bears. Tony's been on a couple bear hunts
with
me. It's fantastic. So you take 1.4 million acres, you convert that to square miles. It comes out to 2,187
square miles
and change, right? Okay. You divide that by Fish and Wildlife's numbers of a male cougar covers a 62 square mile times 2. That's 2 cougars. Okay. This is their data.
They're saying there's two
male cougars in a 62 mile area. Okay.
62 square miles.
This is all BS is what it is. Okay, but I'm just doing their numbers.
Right.
Okay, and you divide that number with the whole Blue Mountains from Oregon up through the Winahas and Tucannon, and you come out with 35 cougars. Now times that by 2 because it's 2 cougars per every 62 square miles. That number is 70.
Yeah.
Well, if 70 cougars take,
36 animals a year.
36. That number then is 2,500.
Yeah.
55. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that, folks, is just cougars.
That's just cougars. That's not wolves. That's not bears. That's not winter loss.
Not bad winters. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
So our number that we're trying to strive for 5,500 elk, that's a start, but we need to strive for 10,000.
Yeah.
Let's put that benchmark up there.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Let's bring hound hunting back.
Yeah.
Let's eradicate these predators. Okay? And it's disheartening. That's an understatement. It's actually a travesty to sportsmen in Washington State and Oregon, okay, to have a commission that is dictating false information with their hidden agenda. Okay, now I'm going to throw this out for you guys. Okay, we have a Mountain Lion Foundation, right? Okay, now where is that based out of?
I don't know.
It's based out of Sacramento, California.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lots of cougars in Sacramento.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you know?
Okay, now, WDFW.
They're on the beach.
They're divorced.
Yeah, 6 times.
WDFW does seminars with the Mountain Lion Foundation.
Oh. What do they talk about?
Okay. They talk about basically how we can save these mountain lions. Okay. Now, if I were to tell you our governor and their commissioners have a hidden agenda and are affiliated with the Mountain Lion Foundation, that would be ridiculous, right? Okay. Who's the governor of California?
Newsom.
Gavin Newsom. Okay. Lorna Smith, our governor, and our commissioners need to go away. We need sportsmen in that seat immediately. Okay. They are. We're losing this world-class elk herd in the Blue Mountains. This is just the Blue Mountains, right?
Yeah.
They want their finger on everything. They want to dictate everything when they have no business. When is the last time Kim Thornburn or Lorna Smith stepped foot in the Blue Mountains?
They've never been there.
When's the last time our governor stepped foot in the Blue Mountains?
He's never been there.
He's not welcome, first of all.
Let me ask you this, Bill. Let me back this up a little bit on some of the numbers you threw out there. So, I mean, roughly we're talking about, according to WDFW's numbers, we got 1 male cougar
per 62
Right, but they're saying
Okay,
two. So
okay.
look, one male cougar every 31 square miles, right? Do they account for the females?
No, they don't.
They have to eat too.
This is a male cougar, right?
Okay.
And if you have a female cat with kittens, she'll leave the den. She'll go out. She'll seek food, right?
Yeah.
She leaves them vulnerable,
right?
Right. But she goes out and she has to eat to replenish, to give them the milk, etc.
Sure.
Okay. So, guess what she eats? Ungulates.
Yeah.
Okay. Deer, elk,
right?
You know, etc. And so then you factor in the bears on top of this. I mean, come on.
Look, their numbers are basically saying there's 75 male cats in the blues. Okay.
Right.
And their rough numbers would indicate there's going to be 2,500 ungulates of some sort killed annually.
Right.
And their numbers are only reflective of the male cats.
And here's the thing too, that Fish and Wildlife publishes is they publish, there is basically 2 cougars per every 100 kilometers. Okay, now, I don't know about you folks, but I live in the United States.
Amen. Amen.
Okay.
Can we use simple math, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you using kilometers in the first place?
Yeah.
And it's almost a way to inflate their data. Someone might see that and go, well, what's kilometers?
Right.
Right? Yeah. Come on, I'm not from Canada. No offense to Canadians.
Here's what intrigues me more. Here's what intrigues me more. You're throwing out the numbers from WDFW.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. They don't spend a lot of time in the woods.
They spend no time in the woods.
If anybody has boots on the ground, it's you.
Yes.
And you also have, north of 12 cameras in there.
Yes.
You've also documented many cougar sightings on your cameras. Right. Have they asked you? Have they asked you to say, Bo, truly, I mean, you got a number of cameras out there. How many cats are you? Can we see the photos? Because they're going to sit there and stare at those and go, is that the same cat or is it a different cat? Oh, it's a different cat.
Oh, they're going to say it's the same cat.
So
every time.
You obviously have a different take on it. Yeah. You obviously feel that there's many more than just 75 male mountain lions throughout the blues.
Oh, unequivocally.
Yeah.
Dwayne, I spend a good chunk of my time in the wilderness portion of my permitted areas. I spend a good chunk in Mountain View, Toucan, and Lickery. I spend a good chunk in all of them. And every camera, I've never gone to a camera of mine. When you're seeing them without even going to a camera, you're seeing them on trails.
Yeah.
You're seeing them in trees. I saw one this spring bear season while I was taking a urine break. There's one in a tree staring at me.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we
might
have a
become
problem?
more than just a urine break.
We have a big problem that's it's needed addressed for years.
Do they use a similar formula on the black bear? Square miles and
no, they don't.
Okay.
So I invite any Fish and Wildlife personnel. I invite anybody on the Wildlife Commission. They're more than welcome. We will gladly take them in. If they want to ride a mule, we'll put them on our best mules. We'll take them in. We'll show them the wilderness. We'll ride them all the way through. We'll show them the units. We'll show them, hey, how come you're not seeing any cow elk around here? Where are all these elk?
Right.
Hey, we didn't see any deer. Well, no wonder, because we don't have any. Okay. It's disgusting what's happening down there, honestly.
What year would you say you started noticing
the decline?
A concern on the decline, yeah.
Basically, because I was in there more when I first had my permit, obviously, than recreating, etc. I probably noticed it my 3rd year. But hey, Dwayne, we've had a problem since 1993 in the Blue Mountains.
Since we got rid of cats.
This isn't just something that's just popping up. Fish and Wildlife's had their fingers on this for some time. But we're catering to the bleeding hearts who want to eliminate hound hunting. And really, the only way to eradicate cougars is with hounds.
Yeah.
Okay, now spring bear season, okay, they feed and forage in the daytime. Okay, they are a problem. They're a nuisance. Okay, they are a nuisance with cattlemen. They're a nuisance, period. Okay, they're eliminating all these elk calves. There could be 15 babies dropped down in the Grouse Flats area. Okay, and guess what? Those bears find them. those cows can't protect them.
Sure.
No, right.
Not one bit.
Right.
And it's just like the boars are fighting over them. It's just it's crazy to see. So we need to eliminate that and bring back spring bear hunting. Okay, it's a major problem. Not having a spring bear season. It really is. There's going to be no elk surviving.
Right.
There's definitely no deer now. Let's do something about it. The Mule Deer Foundation. Let's get them involved. And here's another thing too, Dwayne. I wasn't going to bring this up.
Okay.
But the natives, they take their share. Okay.
Yeah.
In the Blue Mountains.
Yep.
They probably overtake their share of herd bulls that a lot of people don't care for, myself included.
Yeah.
Okay. However, we need to at this time be cohesive enough with all parties involved, like you talked about. And let's figure this out. Let's bring these elk herds back to what they once were.
Absolutely.
Right? Because there's going to be no recreating, period. And it starts there.
Right.
And if Fish and Wildlife can't get their pulse on this now, we need to, as voters, as whatever, either separate the state, okay, or we need to just say, forget it. You know, I wrote something on the back of one of my notes, and it was just in haste, but it was like, if Fish and Wildlife's going to do nothing about this or change this commission as it currently sits, we need to, as sportsmen, say, okay, we're done buying your license, your inflated prices every year, and we're going to take matters into our own hands.
So, you know, the thing is that the commission, right? So you've got the biologist.
Yep.
And if I was a biologist, I'd be chomping at the bit to go with you and see everything, see what's actually happening.
Right?
I mean, that's an offer of a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so, you know, and then when you think about the numbers, right, the current, you know, per WFW, and we could talk about if it's, you know, a little bit lower or higher, what it is, but 3,600, right, is what it's currently at, well below its objective.
Yep.
Per the very plain math with regards to the cougar population, and what their take is on, you know, that herd, right? They're taking 3,600 a year. So that basically means that when you look at the herd and you look at the number of cows, which is less than 3,600, obviously, I don't know if it's, you know, of that, if it's 2,800 or what the number is, but, you know, basically what that tells you is every year, they're taking more than what's coming out of those cows, right?
Absolutely.
Now, here's the challenge that I see, right? Because I'm in full agreement with you in terms of let's get the biologist out there, let's get WFW out there to really see what's going on and get a handle on it. My concern is that you've got such a progressive commission now that they're just going to go, thank you for your data. That was really great. I appreciate it.
Presentation.
Okay, thank you. Now, cancel hunting.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because they're not going to look at the data.
All they're going to do,
and they're going to go.
Well, add me to the commission then, because I will gladly sway this other vote. And I will convince the other commissioners to have it. You know, the governor of Utah, a couple years ago, there was a problem with mule deer in Utah. Okay? Utah, world famous mule deer. Okay? Those 200-inch mule deer.
Yep.
Right? He saw a problem. And you know what he did? He got his commission together and he said, you're going to vote on this. You're going to get everyone involved and we're going to vote. It was 5-0. It was no questions asked. They brought hound hunting back. And you know what's happened since? They brought these deer herds back. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? The elk herds are back.
They're actually being progressive versus reactive.
Absolutely.
And a reactive that is just simply, well, then I guess we're done hunting there because we can't seem to get these herds to come back.
Yep.
And it's nothing. There's nothing we can do.
Right.
I'm in the camp of Tommy. Look, we know a lot of folks that work for WDFW.
Right.
More so as far as biologists in the field, I'd say for me personally is those involved in our fisheries. I can tell you that there's a certain level of biologists working for WDFW that truly takes pride in their work.
Oh, 100%.
And when they have a rebound of a fishery or they make gains in bringing something back, or they can, I mean, it's tangible, right? And they can go, hey, we've brought this from this to this. In other words, they take pride in their work and they're happy about their success because their input, you know, what they did to change, whatever it was, now has a successful outcome. It would be nice in a region like the Blues, for everything that it stands for and what it used to be, if the biologists that oversee that could see that, could actually wrap their head around it and go, you know what, we have to get in there and figure out what's going on. We need to team up with the likes of a Bo Olson and get in there and see what's going on and really put forth the effort to get the data and pay attention to what's happening, and then decide, make some decisions and move forward on it. Maybe it's a test region where they go, look, we're going to bring hound hunting back into this region in these units. And we're going to put forth that effort, and we're truly going to gauge on how many cats we exterminate, and we're going to see what that does to the populations. In other words, use it as a benchmark and a test area to say, is this a statewide problem? Is this a roadmap for us to find success, and then take what we've learned here and start incorporating in other areas? I think they know the answers to that.
Yes.
They're just not willing, with the demographic of this state and the persons that are in charge of making decisions, and a higher percentage of those folks not having anything to do with fishing and hunting. It's so far off of their radar, they're just happy to collect their paycheck and do their damn job. Problem is they're not doing their damn job.
And they're doing a disservice to every sportsman across the state.
You know, we're contributing to their jobs. We're paying.
Bo, I've heard, you know, the conflict there of persons saying, well, we just need to stop buying a license. Look, the reality is, if hunters and fishers quit contributing, we're taking a chip out of their annual budget about a third. We're only kicking it about a third. Because they're going to draw monies from other processes in the process, so to speak, right? So, I mean, look, we say that out of frustration, but it'll never happen, right? I would say we need to keep beating the drum here on getting our current governor to appoint persons into these commission seats. They're going to do something. They're going to be advocates for the opportunity that Washington State could be, both in fishing and hunting, right? And when they appoint persons that show their hand, that has no benefit to fishing and hunting in the state of Washington, then we collectively come together, inundate the Natural Resources Committee to say, do not confirm this person. And if they do, you keep tabs on who those senators are sitting in that committee. And when it comes time for an election year, you make sure we see their way out the door.
Absolutely.
So when people say politics has no place in fishing and hunting, they're wrong. Because we here in Washington State are experiencing something we've never seen before. And it's only secondary to the stacking of the deck of the current commission and the person who appoints them there. If people can't figure that out now, if they can't see what's going on in the blues and the conversations happening at the meetings, this stuff is not going to go away on its own, right?
Yep, for sure.
So this is concerning. Pretty much the numbers you threw out, as Tommy alluded to, is just on cats, right?
Just on
We're
cats.
talking male cats.
That's just on cats.
You know, the bear population is thriving in Washington State.
If their range is actually condensed, besides 62, the 100 kilometers that they like to use, I mean, think about that. I can tell you right now, I have several cameras with more than 1 or 2 cats on there. Different cats. Okay? And
do you have cats on there at the same time?
Oh yeah. I have, you know.
Look, one that stands out in my head is there was a trail cam video or footage that came out of the Spokane area. There was like 7 or 11 cats all just kind of mingling around, just laid all out together in a pack.
Oh yeah.
And some of the biologists were going, we never knew this was possible. We didn't think they were like a pack animal.
And you know, a cat, if you have 2 male cougars in a certain area, they like their areas. So they'll fight till the death. Right? A death of a cougar is from usually another cougar. Okay? So, but you have such a density, and you see how vast the wilderness is and the Blue Mountains. And you, if there's more than 3 or 4, that number's inflated twofold. Right? And then you add the other predators involved, which we're not going to get into today. We all know what we're talking about.
Well, last time we were here, we talked a lot about wolves.
Yes.
And what's interesting is 2 years later, we're still talking about predator issues in the blues, along with other areas in the state. But cats have taken the forefront. Wolves are still an issue in certain areas in our state.
Absolutely.
Cats are more problematic in a wider region of the state because cats are everywhere. I mean, for God's sakes, I'm reading an article today about they're coming together to do a research and study and spend a bunch of money to see if the inability of cats to cross I-5 is going to promote the fact that they need to build a crossing bridge because of genetic, not enough diversity in genetics with the cats. So they're concerned about isolation of genetics in certain regions of the state based on the fact that cats can't cross I-5. I'm like, that's a great conversation to have, but I'd really like to put to the forefront controlling the population of cats first.
Yeah.
Then we can worry about the diversity of their genetics.
I told you, I told you about my brother got a call years ago when he was in his career, younger.
Yeah.
He got a call to where they had a cougar in a playhouse.
Right.
Wow.
Now think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's scary. Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't know what
Do you have the numbers from that colored study? I was going to pull them up and I forgot. It showed that we had like 2 to 3 elk calves that died of starvation.
Oh, right. Yeah. So we collared 115.
Okay.
Right? Out of those, 74 were lost because of predators. Okay, and I don't know how you can technically confirm that they were all 54 were cougars. The rest were bears and other predators, right? Okay. Out of the 115, 11 survived. Now, out of the 11 survival, 7 are missing.
What?
So
what happened?
Does that make any sense to anybody?
More like there's 4 left.
So you have 4 left out of 115, right? And
Tommy said it at the start of our conversation. He says, "Here's a trajectory."
Yep.
Well, if we have 3 to 4 elk calves surviving a year,
right? And just to touch on, listen, I don't dislike our biologists.
Right.
I dislike what they're doing. And if I were a biologist in the Blue Mountains, I would do everything in my power to bring predator hunting to the forefront, okay? And bring this, I would want my legacy to be, hey, I was part of that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I brought that elk herd back, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
That's something I can hang my hat on.
Right.
Instead of just turning a blind eye, not going with the outfitters, and just saying, "No, it is what it is." No, it's not what it is.
This is one of those situations where they can turn off hunting. They can turn off hunting.
They could.
And it will not make one bit of difference as to what's going on.
Right. And just a side note too, come spring bear season, I've done this throughout my career. Tony will attest to this. There's been people that will see a bear and their immediate reaction is, it's a bear. All right, I'm going to go shoot it. You have time, right? The bear's just, it's foraging, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay? I've stopped many, many people from shooting sows with cubs.
Yeah.
Don't encourage it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I like seeing the bears.
You take your time.
Yes, you take your time. Okay? There's a big boar waiting around the corner.
Right.
Okay? That's going to eat that baby in no time. So be ready. Okay, so
have you had conversations with Stephanie? She oversees the black bear population in Washington State. She's the bio. Okay.
Nope.
So the information she provided to the commission during that meeting was pretty spot on, and you know, she even broke it down as to, well, the number of spring bear permits that were issued, the number of bears that were harvested, the percentage of those or number of those that were sows, and the fact that they accounted for 1 lactating female. So she said we have less than a 2% impact on bear cubs.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have a concern. Our population is between 25 and 35,000.
Yep.
The spring bear impact is not one that gives us concern for the population of the current population to either sustain or continue to grow. She puts all that out there.
Right.
Lorna Smith could not get off the lactating female.
Yeah,
She
the
alluded
one.
to it 2 or 3 times. Like this is the buzzkill for the bear hunt.
Right.
We, you know, and again, Stephanie put it out there. We have less than a 2% concern or impact on bear cubs. This is, we don't have an issue here.
2%.
She wanted nothing to do with it, right? And this was the emotional response, and that's the direction they steered this thing, right? So to disregard all science, to not really drill down on what's happening with the cats, the fact that the bears have an impact, the wolves have an impact, right?
Major.
Collectively, I mean, we're down to 4 surviving elk calves out of 2021.
Out of just what they put their hands on.
Exactly.
Yes.
In the blues, that's it. Not in the...
Yeah.
But you could extrapolate from that a percentage of survivability, and you could put that across and go, yeah, we have a serious problem here. Right?
Yeah, we're running against the wind here.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So, you know, it starts at the top. It bleeds into the commission. Tommy and I have tried with effort to stay on top of this week in and week out. There's a reason we interviewed the likes of Ryland Waithman for that east side seat that needs to be filled by an individual like him. There's a reason we had Brian Blake in here last week to pick his brain on what is going on and what he thinks about the current commission. There's a reason we put the information out for people to get online and fill the in basket of certain senators, of certain persons on the commission. They need to hear from us, right? 3% or even less of us in Washington State hunt.
And to lean on like the bleeding hearts topic that you just talked about, Lorna Smith, they actually have someone from the Mountain Lion Foundation encouraging folks write in to the governor, to the governor's office, to encourage that they give sportsmen the public fair shake, so to speak.
Yeah.
There's no fair shake. There's nothing nice about a cougar. Nothing at all.
No. There's obviously far too many of them. So a gentleman weighed in here, said there was 125 calves that they collared as of December 9th.
9 are alive and 77 were
as of
predators.
December, 9 are alive and 77.
And as far as the predator kills, do they have cameras? Were all these elk calves in a certain area? How are you coming to that assumption? I come across a lot of kills.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deadheads in the Blue Mountains that I encounter, and all their noses are gone. Okay, we know what's killing them.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are they knowing a bear didn't kill it? You know, I mean,
yeah.
Their data's skewed at best. So we got to do something about this.
There was even an incident here not too long ago. They had a report where a collared cat killed a collared elk. So whether they wear jewelry or not, they don't care. But yeah, just for the record. Fantastic information. Tommy, any last questions for Bo here before we jump off?
No, I think you covered the A to Z. That was pretty phenomenal. Thank you.
Yeah. This is the importance of getting persons like you to come forward and speak on behalf of what you see, truly what's going on. And you know, really at the end of the day, we're not throwing a whole lot of rocks, but truly we're just trying to hold persons accountable. And asking for transparency is the word we continue to go back to.
We asked for that last time we did the episode, you know?
So I got a question.
Okay. So Tony speaks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, finally, right?
Yeah.
With the whole spring bear thing, there was a vote and it was a tie.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it was a tie, and all of a sudden we got the loss, that is, we're going to not do a spring bear hunt this year.
Right.
Yep.
Why is it that
an at-large,
if you have a management objective that's over the top for cougars, management objective over the top for bears, management objective over the top for wolves, that's 3. Okay? You got deer and elk, that's 2. And we're not doing anything about, making that difference with the predators.
Right.
They're already ahead of the big game, right?
Yes.
So why aren't we making a change for that? But we can make a change for the spring bear that says, well, we had a tie, but we're going to go this way. Well, why don't we go the other way with predators?
Tommy, didn't you see last week?
I did.
I meant that. Why don't we go?
Well, so item number 1, it's totally a travesty that when you have a seat on the commission that's not filled, and then you go with this 4-4 tie, right? If you tie anything, the outcome should be to stay with the status quo. Okay. And in this case, we had a hunt. The hunt should remain, right? You tied. You couldn't make a decision. Fine. Keep it status quo. Okay. That's what it should be. But what it was is, we tied, therefore we can't have the hunt.
Therefore,
right?
No.
Which is asinine.
Which, as Tommy, you pointed out last week, it's like, I've never heard of this.
Right.
To your credit,
in no other situation.
Like, you know what? That is a valid point. That typically it's like, well, we tied.
It stays.
It's a no decision.
Right.
Exactly.
And so whatever's in place currently stays in place. And I was like, you know what? That's a smart call, but that's not the case.
But I think what it does, though, is it highlights how corrupt and how political this has become, right?
Yes.
The way the commission, part of the commission is operating, couple key individuals on the commission are operating, is that, well, let me paint this picture of this poor lactating sub sow that got shot. You know, now these poor cubs, they don't have any mother. And oh my God, you know, how can we deal with this? How can you have this on your conscience for the rest of your life?
They were probably already eaten by a boar.
And then they
they
paint the picture of like, oh, well, this, you know, in the spring they come out of hibernation, and these bears, they have no clue what they're doing. They have no awareness. They just kind of fumble out, and there's Yogi, and he doesn't see the hunter. He has zero awareness. He's not listening. He's not smelling. He's not using his senses, and he is just like cannon fodder for the first hunter, right? That kind of emotional BS is how they are voting. That's how this is happening.
Yep. You want to know what's the most frustrating about her going down that tirade of that speak right there? There's no scientific support data, information available in regards to that.
Zero.
This is her who's never stepped foot in the woods, has never packed a rifle or done any hunting, has probably only observed bears in her zoo, to be a commission appointed to that seat.
Right.
And these are the words coming from her for the rest of the panel to listen to wrap their mind around, to ultimately make a decision.
Right. Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing to support it other than emotions and feelings.
That's why sportsmen should be appalled at this whole commission.
100%.
Right? Lorna Smith needs to go hug a plant and have no business being a part of this
What kind of
commission.
plant did you hug?
I don't.
A cactus. Cactus. Poison ivy.
Oh yeah. Shut up, boss. But yeah, you know, for all those reasons we've talked about for several weeks, Tommy, right? And it's been noted, and that's why we start off the show encouraging folks to contact natural resources.
And just a little side note: spring bear, when they come out of hibernation, that's the best their hide's going to ever be. I don't know if people realize this. Okay, really, it's you know, and you get into later fall and they get torn up. You know, they're growing, they're expanded. Yeah. Let me tell you, these bears are not malnourished when they come out of hibernation. They're very healthy. Tony's seen them. I have video cameras of them just with their lower jaw open going across the field eating the dark green grass. That's what kind of what you focus on, the neon grass, and it's just fabulous watching them, right? I love watching them, okay? But they're a problem. There's a bear, there's a bear, there's a bear, there's a bear. Where's the deer and elk? Oh, yeah.
Right.
They got eaten.
Yeah, there was no critters.
There's a red. Yeah, everyone asked me, where are all the deer and elk?
17 bears in one canyon.
They're in their bellies.
And like 2 mule deer.
Yeah.
So the only way to turn the tides on this and get some movement heading in the right direction is, one, to replace a few individuals on the commission.
Yep. 100%.
The only way to replace a few individuals on the commission is to let our voices be heard. Yep. If people think, when Tommy and I sit here and advocate for you to contact the state senators, representatives, to take the time to contact Natural Resources Committee, collectively as a united group, fishermen and hunters, we need to come together. Whether all you do is fish, great, but this is an issue that has trickle-down effect. Right now it's spring bear.
Right.
What's next?
Yeah.
Right?
What's next?
You know, so
absolutely.
That's why you need all band together and inundate these in baskets electronically, because we have that ability. When those Zoom meetings come up, log in, listen, raise your hand, ask the questions, inundate them with the stuff they don't want to hear.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Eventually, you start a movement that's going to create change. If we just sit here in this studio week by week and complain about it, we're not going to take any action.
It's not gain traction at all.
So that's the importance of having the conversations and then to take it to the next step.
Yep.
And that's the responsibility of everybody who wants to recreate, hunt and fish in the Pacific Northwest.
I encourage everybody on the commission, everybody at WDFW, whoever that may be, you're welcome to come with Wilderness Expeditions.
Right.
We'll take you in. We'll show you the Blue Mountains. Okay? We'll have a great time.
Yeah.
And I'll show you the lack of ungulates.
Right.
Right. That once thrived in this beautiful habitat.
All right, we have beat on this for quite some time. Extremely long session, but well worth it because the information just keeps coming. So we're going to jump out for a quick break. Hang in there, folks. I want to bring you a special little treat here. 10-minute segment or so. Tommy, out there blasting geese a few weeks ago, huh?
Bang, bang.
We'll take a look at what we were able to get together when you're shooting birds and running cameras, trying to get it all to come together. It's a bit of a challenge, but we did accomplish that, and it's a lot of fun to watch this take place. So for all you hanging on to watch that, don't go anywhere. Jump out for a quick break. We come back. We're going to enjoy that invite Fish Hunt Northwest and Ross Outdoor Adventures Goose Hunt over there just outside of Potholes right after this commercial break here on Fish Hunt Northwest.
Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. Defiance boats feature a 21 to 22 degree dead rise at the transom and a large reverse chine for incredible handling and stability offshore. Defiance boats are foam flotation filled and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Defiance boats feature fuel-efficient hull designs with large fuel tank capacity so that you can have maximum fuel range for making long offshore runs completely safe and affordable. All Defiance boats come standard with self-bailing decks for improved safety while at sea. Defiance Boat offers all our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Defiance boats for all your boating needs, and let us help you get out on the water.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Phoenix Protective Corporation strives for excellence. Above all, Phoenix security officers are managed by leaders trained to inspire and encourage greatness. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts, with service ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. We here at Phoenix are looking for highly motivated individuals to apply. If you're a vet, retired or active, and would like to work with us, please apply.
Tommy.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm good. Get enough sleep?
No.
It's early.
It is early.
What are we doing out here? We're in some godforsaken field. Got a caravan with us.
It's hard to see, but we have 2 trailers full of decoys that we're getting ready to set up.
Some blinds.
Yeah.
Doing a goose hunt this morning. And the boys are checking out the field right now. It is hard to see out here.
Yeah, it is.
I'll just shine that in your face.
I still look good.
Yeah, you do, especially in the darkness. Levi, how many are you putting out?
Only about 45-ish.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, these big birds are family groups. They don't like a huge spread.
Yeah.
And even the calling, they don't like a whole lot of noise. They just like it nice and quiet.
Huh?
Real simple spread. So.
Gotcha.
Hopefully they come in about 15 to 10 amount of birds. Every now and then you get big wads of them, and then it turns into an absolute rain out. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right, man. We gotta get these out, get the blinds set, get them brushed out.
Yep.
Set the boys with one of the trucks to go get all the tumbleweeds.
Yeah, it sounds kind of funny, but kind of a tumbleweed roundup. You just fill the trailer and the beds of the trucks with as many as you can, and
right.
You basically just turn your layout blind into a flower arrangement of tumbleweeds, and they fall for it. They just try to. We stretch them out past our blind a little bit too, so it doesn't just look like a blob of tumbleweeds. You want it to look like a whole weed line.
Right.
But
that makes sense.
Seems to do the job.
All right. Well, we'll get her set up and wait for daylight, huh?
Absolutely. They should be about 35 to 40 minutes after daylight. They'll start showing up.
Perfect. All right. Let's go get this done. Yo. All right. There we go. Good. Nobody strike a match.
Yeah, right.
We got us some ground cover here. Got our truckload of tumbleweed. Nicely done, boys. Sorry. We're gonna brush out these blinds.
Our vegetation specialist.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Arts and Crafts for Men.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Tommy, you're kind of a tumbleweed.
Sometimes.
Huh?
Certainly can be.
Yeah. When it's called for.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy. We are actually out here in the field, daylight.
Mm-hmm.
And we're done hunting, but that being said, because it was so dark, we're getting everything set up. We got to kind of do our intro now, so we're going to talk about this, but the carnage
has occurred.
Has been weighed,
yeah.
right? Shelby, Levi, how would you summarize this morning?
Fast and furious.
Pretty, yeah. I mean, I actually couldn't even get camera set up out here. It was just
Yeah.
like, get back in the blind.
We
You're yelling at me.
I couldn't pick the birds up fast
No,
enough.
it was ridiculous. I mean, the type of morning you guys want, right?
Absolutely.
So, before we get too far along, what we're going to do is we're going to show you the carnage. So don't go anywhere. Carnage coming at you right now.
You ready, guys?
Kill him.
Nice.
Push on my gun.
We're going to drop him.
Kill him.
Oh, backflip. 3 backflips.
Shoot that cripple if you can.
In the decoys. I don't want to shoot your... Come on, you piece of crap. You get MP? Oh, hey, somebody shot a lane. Got a window. Yeah, you did. Oh, we got another triple that. Yeah, well, he's not running. He's running.
Guys, we need to do a bird count.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I got 4 laying behind the blind here.
I've got 3.
2. 2. All right, hold your fingers up. 23. 27.
All right.
Kill those 2.
Boom. Yeah, I got you, bitch. Those things are full of pellets.
Those things are... Pete, you can have those too.
Shoot him, Shelby.
Shoot him.
He can do that because they're his decoys.
Yeah. The other one's got his head up too.
You got one on the wall. It's got... hammered.
And he's still moving.
I don't know. Oh God. For some reason, white shit on it. Where? I was like, kill what? That's what happens in FHN shows. I've had limits and stuff. Load!
Dead birds.
Crying about it. What happened to the left side container over there?
We got a few. Yeah. Dead birds everywhere. All right, boys. Well, here we are, man, and
some bonus birds.
Some bonus birds.
Yeah, how about that?
As a snow with a broken neck. So somebody got a good shot.
Yeah.
Man, I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Fun morning.
This was
good shooting.
Phenomenal.
Hold up one of those big ones. Hold up that big one right there.
This one here. That one there.
Yeah.
Pick a big one.
You're gonna have to be more specific because there's a lot of big ones. Yeah.
This one here is a little bit.
Yeah.
So, pretty much non-stop action for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And Levi is working his ass off. He was running out, grabbing birds, coming back in, then trying to blow his goose call out of breath.
Yeah, he had a straight cardio workout.
That was entertaining.
Yeah.
So
if they come in just a little slower, a little space between
a little
groups,
more space down.
we'd have been done a lot sooner.
Yeah, no doubt. But still a heck of a morning here. We got, I don't know how many birds we got. Definitely not over the limit, but you know, we got 3 or 4 birds.
So we're a few shy, I think.
Yeah, an actual
just a couple
4
shy.
bird limit per gun. So
almost 40.
Yeah. But about 9:30, that was all. I mean, they just kind of, they're done, right? So
yeah.
And there can be an afternoon flight, but we got plenty of birds.
We got plenty of birds.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. We got a good group of guys. This was our effort in putting a invite hunt together here with Ross Outdoor Adventures and Fish on Northwest, and we were successful. We ended up with 9 guys joining us, and just a fantastic morning. I mean, all around. So, what do you think? How'd this hunt go down compared to goose hunts so far this year?
This was really textbook. I mean, the way they dropped into the decoys, it's always nice when everybody's a good shot, but sometimes these big birds, you know, if you watch some of the footage, the birds on this side, they were getting just raked with pellets, and they just kept going.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about that. But
these things are built with armor. Tommy, your first goose hunt.
Yeah.
What'd you
I mean,
think?
I was definitely not expecting that much action. You know, I was thinking like, okay, we're gonna get a few birds here, you know, and I mean, it started happening quickly, right? It was like 2 birds down, then we had a solo, and I'm like, oh wow, this is like this is really happening. And then I kind of like peeked my head out of the blind, looked over my shoulder, and I said, oh my God, it's just like wave after wave after wave of geese.
And we planned a duck hunt.
Right.
And this cold front planned the hunt on a Wednesday, so if
we had a
if
backup
the ducks
plan.
disappeared, we could goose hunt.
And you called it, Shelby. I mean, we were talking about every week. We had you on the show last week, give us an update. And you said, well, yeah, maybe a duck hunt, but good thing we did schedule on a Wednesday because we may end up doing a goose hunt. And sure enough, ducks are gone right now. Cold weather coming in. You made the right call and got out here at 5 this morning, set out our decoy spread. I was surprised that what did we put out, 45 decoys?
about 45 of them.
You know, and then it even drew in a couple of these snow geese. And
haven't seen the snow within 10 miles of here all season.
Go figure.
Yeah.
This is
And
what
they
happens
showed up
when
today.
Fish on Northwest shows up.
Yeah. That last snow was definitely suicidal. He did not
He
want to
just kept
stop flying
circling,
over.
looking for his buddies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got some fantastic large, you know,
larger sized birds to take home for sure.
So,
and we had a handful. We got a few
that's-
guys here. They've never done this before.
That's the reasoning behind only throwing out a small spread. You know, you see these guys throwing out 12, 15 dozen. The big birds just don't like it. They're family packs. You know, even if there's 20 birds there, when you watch them in the field, you know, they're separated. You know, 4 here, 10 here, 15 there. And we just try to mimic that in the spread.
Yeah.
Looks like some goose pastrami in the future.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
We got to give credit to Levi though, because the calling that you did.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never done this before, but I was listening to the whole call series, and it was like you had your own orchestra going over there, and just these birds were turned. So
well,
you made it look easy. Like this doesn't just happen, right? You got to have the caller.
Some of those birds would come in almost on a rope early on, but then as we got a little further in the morning, Levi was turning birds around. And they would turn around and lower in elevation, and they were just coming in, locking up, and here they come. And you guys call the shots, and yeah, some good shooting by some beginners and some good shooting by some veterans out here. It was a nice mixed bag of those that have hunted a lot and those who have never hunted. And Dakota behind the camera, you've been on the goose hunt before? First time?
First time.
Yeah. So good stuff, good times.
Yeah.
Won't be the last.
Won't be the last. Yeah, this was definitely a success. Can't thank you guys enough.
Glad you guys had fun. Thank you
Absolutely.
for joining us.
Shelby, always a pleasure, buddy. Ross Outdoor Adventures, make sure you look them up. Fish on Northwest. Jump out for a quick break. We'll see you guys back in the studio. Well, there you go, Thomas. That was our recap of the outing, the Fish on Northwest, excuse me, Fish on Northwest Ross Outdoors Adventures invite that we did, right? Through the invite out there. Good time.
You know, I mean, never having gone goose hunting before, I was thinking like, hey, you know, we're gonna see a flock come in, and then we're gonna get a chance at them, and we may get like one more chance, 2 more chances. It's gonna be it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many flights of birds coming in that it was one flight would come in, we drop a couple, and then before we could even go out and pick those up, there was another flight coming in, and they were yelling at us, "Get down, get down, get ready, get ready! Here they come! Get them!"
Yeah, and I'm trying to run cameras. I'm trying to put camera here.
Yeah, you had to hit the deck. Yeah, one of those times. Yeah, you did.
Thing. I'm setting the camera up. Levi says, "Get down!" Yells at me like Arnold. So I come flying in, hit the deck. I'm holding the camera at the hedgerow, and the shooting starts, and it's, you know, I'm off to the side, but the shooting, boom, 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 and all of a sudden boom! I look back, and about 2 feet off my rear boot, there's a goose laying on the ground.
Yeah.
So
knocked you out. Almost got bombed on.
You get hit by a 35-pound bird, but it was. We had a heck of a lot of fun. Levi and his crew, or Shelby and Levi, and just everything they got going on over there is fantastic. And so invites like that for persons that follow us on the show, if they can take some time and join us, man, it's always a good time. We had Dakota with us, and just an overall good time. Dan Roy joined up and brought a couple of his buddies, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I encourage folks, next time we put that together, be sure you join us, either the duck blind or the goose blind, whatever we put together. We may try after the sportsman show here, see if we can't put something together, go hunt some pheasant over there at Miller Ranch.
Yeah, that would be awesome too.
That'd be a good time too. So speaking of which, sportsman show's coming up, buddy.
Yes, it is. Where are we going to be? What booth?
We are in apparently booth 569. We're in the main show complex.
The main show.
Main show complex. We're going to be coupled up right next with our buddies at Max Lure. We got about a 30-foot space there between Max and Fish on Northwest, and we're going to be right across the aisle or around the corner from Sportco in the main building.
Yeah.
High traffic area. We're going to have tons of stuff to sell, lots of swag, new hats, new line of wares. Shing's putting it all together. We got a ton of stuff we're bringing. Hope to see a lot of you folks down there. Yes, they'll have some things in place, masking and whatever else. Just pay attention to what the information they put out there online. But you know what? Don't let that sway you from coming on down. We didn't get a show last year.
No, we did not.
So, and for those that continue to ask questions about the Allied Mustang, Tommy, it's going to be down there on display.
Yours is?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
And the Defiance boat tent, along with a few other models of the Defiance, and I believe the Arimas will be in the main show complex with us down the way, but the Mustang Allied will be parked over in the boat tent, front and center, with steps and everything. Get up in there, poke around, check it all out, ask questions. They're really happy to put that one on display as it's kind of a custom model, but some stuff they want to show, right? So,
hey, are you know, Bo, you going to come over for the Sportsman Show? I got a pack of anchovies to hide. Maybe we could,
stick that in the boat. Don't get any ideas.
Absolutely.
In clean, and we want to take it away clean, right? So, anyway, we want to see as many people down there at the Sportsman Show as we can draw in, and hope to have a lot of you stopping by our booth. We're going to be there all day, every day, saying hi and shaking hands or whatever, and selling you lots of stuff. So, looking forward to it. All right, with that, Bo, cannot thank you enough, man. Driving all the way over here from the Yakima area,
Thank
unbelievable.
you guys. Appreciate
dedication.
It. Yeah, Tommy, Jerry, Dwayne, Jordan. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's been good. I appreciate the platform, and this is where it starts.
Yeah.
Let's make some change. And thank my chucklehead here, Tony, and for drinking my beverage of choice here tonight.
Perfect. Tony Wintrip, Tony Wintrip Music.
Bull Down
Productions.
Yep.
Folks can find you. You got any new things coming out? Any new albums?
Working on some new songs.
Are you really?
I got about half of a new album. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And tell folks where they can go to get your current stuff. Where they finding you?
Spotify, Amazon, iTunes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tony Wintrip Music and Bull Down Productions.
Bull Down.
Okay.
Singer Instagram, TW Music.
Yep.
Instagram.
I'm just here for the fun, you know. You guys are doing great. It's awesome.
You're awesome.
It's a blast.
All right.
I love the show.
Well, appreciate you boys showing up. It's always a good time in studio with the Chuckleheads. Appreciate everybody hanging on this evening. Extended version Fish on Northwest here. I got to pay Tommy overtime once again.
That's right.
BS.
He's working.
You're welcome.
You get paid period. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I get my $6.50.
There you go. All right, we are going to get out of here. Appreciate it. Great show, guys. Appreciate the content. Had a great time this evening. We'll see you all next week right here in studio, 6 p.m. Thursday evening. Tell your friends to join us right here at Fish on Northwest. Have a great week.